Alright, so I'm doing a low carb stroganoff tonight for dinner. Basically, this recipe called for mushrooms, which I didn't have, so we go to our pantry or our freezer, which is what I did, and use whatever we have. It calls for 4 ounces of sliced mushrooms, which I didn't have, so instead I substituted in a cup of frozen diced green pepper, because we like green pepper with beef. It called for a 1/4 cup of diced onions, which I had, so I put those in. Basically what you do is you put in 2 tablespoons of butter, you melt it in your pan, and then you go ahead and put in your mushrooms and your onions, and you cook your mushrooms, and then you add your onions in, and you get them so they look translucent, they're cooked. So then you kind of push them off to the side. You put your ground beef in the middle, and you cook that, and you got to keep watching to make sure your mushrooms don't overcook around the edges, or your peppers and onions. And then you cook your beef. Once your beef is cooked, you add 2 tablespoons of a beef base, which not tablespoons, 1 teaspoon. So I added 1 of those little cubes because that's all I had. And you add a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Anyway, you cook all that together, cook it down, and you add 2 little pinches of nutmeg on top. And you just kind of cook it together. Mine had quite a lot of liquid in it, so because I had frozen peppers. So you let that cook down a bit. Now I'm to the point where I add my cream cheese. You add 2 ounces of cream cheese, and you let it melt down. So I'm going to turn this heat down a little bit here. Full disclosure, I doubled the recipe on everything except the sour cream because I didn't have enough sour cream either. And this way I've got stuff for my husband to take for lunch tomorrow and the next day as well. But this is best served over for the keto version. You can either make fried cabbage, which I've never made fried cabbage. I'm sure it's delicious, but cabbage has never been like a big diet thing for me. My mom cooked it occasionally, but it was never like a real big staple in her house. So I don't really know about it. But anyway, you can either serve this over that or riced cauliflower, which that is a big staple in our house. In fact, I've got some warming up on the back of the stove here. Okay, so then you get your cream cheese melted down, which I've done. And now you're gonna add your sour cream. It's supposed to be a cup. I probably have a cup per, I should have had 2 cups. I don't have that though. So I've got probably about a cup and a third. So I'm gonna add this in here just to make it creamy. Get as much out of there as I can. This is also something left over from some of the stuff I made for Thanksgiving, so now I can get this out of the way. And I'm back. So we're just going to stir this sour cream in here. Starting to look a lot more like stroganoff now. Really could have used more sour cream now that I'm looking at it, but oh well, we don't have it, so I'm not going to use it. But it comes out to be about, I think, around 460 calories per serving. I'm going to go ahead and let it cook down, cook off more of that water, let it thicken up. And then we just serve it over top of over the rice. So I'm going to let this cook down, put it over the cauliflower rice, and then we'll give it a try. Let me pause this for a bit. Okay, we've got everything done. I'm going to get about a cup of this cauliflower rice out of here. There's about a half a cup. Or riced cauliflower. I just say whatever. And then right around, I think a cup is about a serving for this beef stroganoff. Should be about right. Maybe grab a couple little peppers. Okay, so, and remember, this doesn't have all of the, like, with stroganoff, it's a lot creamier, and this would be creamier if I'd had enough sour cream. But let's taste it and see if it tastes like stroganoff. Hold on, let me stir that a little bit. Perfect. All right, we're gonna see if it tastes like stroganoff. I'm gonna get a little bit without the rice first. It's the first time I've made this recipe, so. You definitely get the flavor of stroganoff. If you had the extra sour cream in here, it would be a lot more like stroganoff, but still yet, it's not bad. It's creamy. Now let's get a little bit with the riced cauliflower to see how much that changes the taste. Definitely changes the taste. I might try it with cabbage sometime just to see how well that goes. Cauliflower is kind of an overpowering taste to it, so I could definitely see that. But you know, I don't have any added salt or anything in this, which is good because of my blood pressure medicine. The only seasonings other than Worcestershire sauce, I hate saying that, is nutmeg. So, and the beef bouillon, which I'm sure has some salt in it, but there's no other salt other than that. So anyway, overall, I think it's a pretty good meal. I'm gonna eat it. Probably total calories once you add in your cup of rice cauliflower, and there's no extra flavoring in the rice cauliflower. You can get some that have it. This one doesn't. So I'd say probably close to, or right around 500 calories for the whole meal, which isn't bad. And it's low carb. I think it was about 7 net grams of carbs. And unless there's sugar in the rice cauliflower, which I don't think there is, if there's any sugar, it's so minimal. It's maybe a couple grams of sugar. That's it. So this is a really good one for anybody who's diabetic or on a keto diet. Anyway, try it out. Enjoy.